All right, we'll see if we can't work through some technical difficulties. My camera is not working, of course, so we'll see what we come up with. And I see Jesse's in the house, no camera on. And no Chris, yeah.
I'll be right back in front of a camera in a second, brother. I'm just heading to pick up my my son from school real quick.
Very good. And I won't pin Cindy up because she is on a phone call. So I apologize, everyone. I am just gonna see if I can't work through this. But in the meantime, how's everybody doing?
Is Beulah in here?
I have not seen Beulah yet.
We need to tag her.
I'll text her.
Yeah, shoot her a text.
Texting now.
So yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, we had a conversation with Beulah last week, and a seller. We all got on a seller call, and it was
Jesse.
phenomenal.
Beulah's coming on. That's who I was on the phone with. She's gonna come on and
dope.
Give us the update. So Beulah is coming on.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, she's gonna let you guys know. It was all good. I'm gonna it should progress to something, so it's all good.
Awesome.
Yep. So ladies and gentlemen, I know Richard's on too, and so is Greg. Who has so like I said, Beulah brought us a deal and we were able to get on the phone call with the seller, and it's looking really, really, really positive. So Beulah hopefully will have her first deal that will come to fruition. What anyone have a deal that they need help with now?
Somebody. Marie?
I do, yes.
Right.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you? You can hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi.
I want to bring you up here in the front. So,
Cindy, I actually talked to you earlier in the week about that mobile home in Georgia that was a mess.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Whatever happened with that? They want some. Oh my God, they are ridiculous on their price. Oh my God, Shane, you should have seen this price.
The girl insisted it was well worth over 500,000, and she was dead set on it. So I said, well,
yeah, but she was asking 1.8 million.
Yeah.
How'd we go from 500 to 1.8?
I don't know. I told her good luck.
Yeah.
But I have another one I just got today.
Oh, fantastic.
It's not a mobile home park. It's actually a group of 24 townhouses. It's off market in Kissimmee. They're currently being used as Airbnbs, but the seller will not share any of that information as far as income and expenses, because he said he's not selling the business, he's selling the properties. So he won't disclose his information. Kind of leads me to think that maybe they're not working out so well in the short term.
That would be my guess as well.
But anyways, so I'm actually in contact with an agent that knows somebody that's selling these. I have all the addresses. They're all 3-bed, 2.5 baths. They're in Kissimmee, so they're near all the theme parks. And they're all in the same complex.
Nice. Okay.
He wants 6.624. He is not open to any kind of seller financing. So I just need to know what I need to do with this.
Sure. Quick, since they were Airbnbs, are they coming furnished?
Oh, you know what? I didn't find that out. I'm going to assume so.
All right.
These are good questions. I need to find that out. Back and ask. Yes, I would find that. Write that as a question down.
Okay. So I'll find that out from him. And he will not separate them. He wants them all to go in one package deal.
That's one packet.
Yeah. So he's
Alright.
essentially asking 276,000 a piece. They have not been updated. They're built in 2002. From the pictures, they still look all right as
Okay.
rentals.
That was my next question was how do they look?
Yeah, they look good as
All
far
right.
as rentals go.
Man,
But I
You
just
wanna
need
pull
to
up
know
a
how to
napkin,
proceed.
Shane?
I'm sorry, say again.
You want to pull up the napkin on that?
Yeah, actually, I was just gonna pull up Semi and see what kind of market information I could find for 2.5 townhouse, but I can pull up the napkin as well.
Yeah, just so but we don't even know what they,
The problem with the napkin, Cindy, is there is no income, no expenses
yeah.
because he's not selling. He's not going to give you any of the Airbnb information. We're gonna have to go find that as a.
Well, we could do a quick, let me pull up Renometer and I'll just give you an estimate on LTRs.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do, I'll do a city here, Kissimmee.
Do you want the
Kissimmee,
address
Florida.
of one of them? Or
Yeah, that'd be
You know
good.
what?
You have
Send
the
it
address.
in a private
I
DM
will,
to
yeah.
Cindy.
Yeah.
Unless you have this under contract, I wouldn't.
No, I don't. I need to figure out how to get it there and if it's worth trying to get it there.
Yeah.
This will be my first one, so it's a big one and I don't want to screw it up. Cindy, I just sent you one of the addresses.
Okay, you sent it in Facebook?
In a private
or-
message. No, it's over Zoom in a private message.
Okay, got it. I will pull it up here.
There's, if you look it up on Zillow, there's no pictures, but if you look it up in Privy, you can see the pictures.
Oh, perfect.
Shane, did you want the address too?
Please. That way I can pull it up and.
All right. And you said they were 3 beds.
Yeah, 3-bed, 2.5 baths, and they're just under 1,300 square feet. And it looks like that they might be 2 stories.
Okay, so I'm gonna give the higher end because it sounds like they're probably well endowed. So I would say the higher end for an LTR is 2,400.
Okay.
That's long-term rental is 2,400.
All right.
It's really weird how they will not give you.
Yeah, that's the first thing the agent said to me. And so I was like, I got to thinking, I'm like, well, then maybe they're not performing.
That would be my guess. Is
All right, because why
Say
else would
that,
you get rid of them? I mean, that's a large amount of, townhomes, and to have that many right there together. And I'm guessing that would be probably the ideal exit strategy on these would be to just either rent them or see if somebody wanted to buy the whole package and then sell them out individually. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be a game play there for just starting to break them up. Buy them as a group and then peel,
Right.
12, 14, whatever the number is off, and then keep the balance for yourself and short-term rent those.
Right.
And that way you have a nice chunk of money and an asset that's paying you a good return.
Right.
But we'll have to do a little research into the area as far as short-term rentals, because that is a red flag for me too. Is that he's not sharing that. If it was really cash flowing very well, he would share that with you because that's what he would inflate his sale price to.
Exactly.
Did you send me that?
I did.
Yeah.
I did it over the Zoom
Got it. Yep.
private. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So how'd you come across this?
I've been actually using the Astro Blaster
Awesome.
and texting agents, and this guy, I've been talking to him for several days, and he sent this to me a couple days ago and just gave me the addresses today. He wanted a proof of funds, and I asked him if they were off market, and as soon as I said that, he sent me all the addresses.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yes, it only takes one.
He was just trying to make sure you weren't kicking tires.
Right. Hopefully I'm not.
Hopefully you were not. Yeah, well, we are a little bit because we need to kick the tires to make sure that they're not rotten, right?
Right.
So what, I'm just gonna pull this on preview real quick.
Okay.
Oh, they're cute.
Yeah, I mean they look all right. I would rent them.
All right, let's go back here. Let's see.
You know how long they've been on the market?
They're not on the market.
Oh, they're not. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm just gonna come over here. I know you said what they are per unit, but so 276.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I see the price here back in 2001. Looking at some comparables in the area, that's probably spot on. It's pretty close. Here's I don't want to pull these up and share them just yet because we don't have this under contract.
Okay.
So won't make for a very exciting recording. So we can see what's going, but yeah, there's some in the area that are very similar. Same size, similar year build. These are actually, these are a couple years older, built in 21. These on market.
These ones I think were 2002 built.
Oh, yep, you're right. That's last sold. Well, I can get the taxes, and it's a little different because they are a bundle. So sometimes the public records get a little mucked.
Okay.
But I do see the seller's LLC information here.
Now I was kind of looking at on Privy with all the information, and it looks like they're in different LLC names.
Okay, so you didn't do them all the same. That's interesting.
Right.
All right, so kind of looking forward on this, I think our homework would be to confirm that they're furnished. If they are, that gives us another strategy, right? And maybe we go back to and look at just manage them as Airbnbs. Let's look at some AirDNA information, and we can see what they're going to cash flow at and what the occupancy rate is. That might be something you really like if that's what you're interested in. And then we can pair that up with how that looks for the long-term rentals as an option. Cindy has some pricing there. The number
It
doesn't
also
look
might be
horrible.
a midterm too, Shane.
Yep. If we find some midterm, but that part of Florida is really short-term rentals shouldn't be horrible.
Right.
But let's take a look at the numbers. And then you decide that what we look at, if we want to wholesale some of these out and peel some of them off and get you some cash today. Let's see if that number works.
Right. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in holding on to, maybe a couple of them. Not the whole lot. Like I said, this will be my first go at this. So.
Well, excellent. Let's talk a little bit more after the show. What I'd like to do is check some numbers and make sure
Okay.
that it's a good deal. It doesn't sound like a bad deal right now.
Okay.
Let's just peel a couple layers and see what we have, and
Okay.
then let's get it under contract, and then we can go in and do a deeper dive, and then we talk about and share some more information with the team, and then we get
Okay.
Jesse and Chris up to speed. So
Okay. Do you want me to PM you my phone number?
please.
Okay.
Awesome. And
Cindy,
we're
you
going to
already
talk
have
about your
my number.
Astro Blaster one of these days too.
What's that?
We're going to talk about your Astro Blaster one of these days too.
Oh yes, I've just been getting into it the last 2 weeks, so it's been better than I thought it would be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I just sent you my message in a private message, or my phone number.
Received.
Sorry.
Received.
All right.
Is your Astro Blaster connected to Astro Flipping?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't have the money for that one.
All right. Let's see.
Julie, do you have your details on your mobile home park?
Yeah, it is on the market right now, and it's on the market for way too much as far as I'm concerned. But it is 16. It's 16 mobile homes, 4 frame homes, and 1 brick home on the property.
Okay.
And it's in
What-
Anna, which is a growing area.
Texas. Okay.
What town did you say that was in, Julie?
Anna.
Where is Anna? It doesn't ring a bell with me.
Anna is north of Frisco.
Oh, okay.
Melissa, it's north of Prosper. But it's
Up there by Pilot Point that way, or is it further?
It's more east, so it's closer to 75.
Closer to 75. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But same kind of, not quite as north as Pilot Point. It's like right after Prosper. So everything is moving that way quickly.
Quickly. Yeah.
It is getting built out.
So
I have
16 units.
Yeah. I have some photos. Yeah, 16 units, 16 mobile homes, 4 frame homes, and 1 brick home.
And they're all kind of relatively close together on the same
Mhm.
property, or no?
Yeah, they're all in the same park.
All part of the same park. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Like if you want to let me share, I can show you a photo, an aerial photo,
Coming right up.
if that's important.
Sure. We like photos. We like pictures.
Hey, Shane and everyone, I have to drop off this call for about 30 minutes and I will be back.
We'll miss you.
I will be back. I apologize. I have to do it. Sorry. I'll be back though.
There we go. All right. So what is the sale price for the park?
Right now, it's 1.9 million.
Is there any vacant lots?
No,
So this is it. 21. And do you have the details on the income?
I have. Hang on a second. Let me share my screen. Get this over. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the property,
Got it.
and you see the little frame homes up in the top
Yep.
corner. Yeah. So there's another photo of it, kind of. So
Is the owner currently living on site?
no. Mm-mm.
So it looks like units are all currently filled.
Yeah, I think from what the information I have is all but maybe 1 or 2 are filled.
Looks like they all have.
And rents are close to 13 to 1400.
Whew, okay.
Yeah.
Mobile homes and the single family homes.
Yeah, they're all included in on the property and in the
Price wise, I mean, rental rates are about the same.
I don't know that I have it separated out by property.
Yep.
So not yet anyway.
So give me real quick, what's your gross monthly income?
Let me stop sharing real quick and then I'll have to look and see if I have that. Let's see. The appraised value is at close to $1 million, just FYI. That's that. I'm looking at what they sent me. I don't know that I have a total of the income. Gosh, they're giving me costs on everything except income. Oh, gross rents. Here we go. 21 units at about 1,100 is about 277,000 annually for rents.
All right. So 277 annually.
Yeah.
And then kind of what we know about expenses. Let's put your NOI somewhere probably close to 166 to hopefully closer to 200. But let's use 175.
The expenses that they shared were about 45,000 a year.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That sounds really low. Must be all utilities are paid by tenants.
Yes.
All right. And then like a cap rate in that area. So based on cash flow, that's probably, before your debt payments, I'm showing a green light on my calculator. So I say that's an okay price. Is this cash only? Did he talk about anything about?
No, it's not cash only. It's not cash only. I have not gotten into too much detail. I've just gotten some of this data. And it's something that I would want to look at with some partners. Like, it's not something I would want to do by myself. It's just too much exposure for me personally. But also I was going to show you, you know how we were talking about the Oklahoma property?
Yes.
Right. I was going to show you, where did it go? This is one of the renovated units that's on the property.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Then not all of them have been renovated, but this is one that has been.
Mm-hmm.
So,
did he give you an indication of how many? Is this like the only one that's renovated, or is there like?
I don't know if they've all been renovated. He just got the data over to me late last week, and I was on vacation, so I'm just getting my hands on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Get some of that detail, and then the other thing, Julie, let's look at. Ask him about how it's currently being managed. Is there an on-site manager that's going to stay?
Okay.
Because if the owner is not, you said is not on property, so how are they currently managing it?
Yeah, I think there's a management company that manages it. I think, but I'm not positive. Again, I have not had that detailed conversation with him yet.
Perfect. Yeah, if you can find that out, and that'd be perfect, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I think you have a nice looking deal there. Cash flow, the purchase price looks good. I do question their expenses a little bit being a little low. given what we've seen and the condition of some of those mobile homes. If they own all those homes, then there's definitely a lot more renovation costs than that to be done. So,
yeah, from what I understand, they own homes, but that's another verification. Because, well, no, the park owns all the homes. I do know that.
because they all kind of look that same vintage as what we see in just up the road there in Oklahoma.
Yep,
You know,
exactly. A couple of them look a little bit newer, but a couple of them look a little bit rougher. So,
but I do like that area that is growing. I said anything.
Yeah, it's growing a lot.
Being gobbled up left and right. So I think.
Yeah. And I have another deal that is a potential opportunity but it's a guy that has a portfolio of duplexes and one quadplex that he wants to sell all together. And again, I personally don't want to purchase all of them. So if anyone's interested in evaluating the deal to go in together, that would be another one. It is, let me see how many duplexes. I think there is four duplex properties and then one quadplex property.
Oh,
and
nice.
This one's in Sherman, which is another
They're in Texas, yeah.
area. TI is building out an additional plant in Sherman.
All right.
Yeah, so that's another one. But I think he's too high on his price point right now. But another one that I just got the details on when I was on vacation, and so it's one that needs to get evaluated. And all of the duplexes have been renovated already, so there's no renovation needed.
And is this one currently fully occupied?
I believe all is occupied except one of the duplexes.
Well, we like that. Did he by chance give you any of the income expenses?
I have, again, these are listed too, but all I have is the details from that a realtor would have. I don't have details on the income yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We would definitely be interested in partnering with you on that as well.
Okay.
So
okay.
let us know.
Okay. Well, I'll get some more details. Do you want me to reach out to you individually, Shane, and talk a little bit more about it?
Please.
Okay.
As soon as you get the income and expenses, let's talk.
Okay. Okay.
And Julie, what was the purchase price on this one?
This one, I think he's got the whole portfolio at, I want to say it was 1.7 million for all of them. But I need to verify that I'm not getting anything confused with the mobile home park.
A little more than $100,000 a unit. That's not bad. 2-bedroom, 1 bath.
They are, yes, 2-bedroom. I think they're 2-bedroom, 2 bath.
Oh, better yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Great job, Julie.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I will. Yeah. 2-bedroom, 2 bath. Yeah. So I will. I'll get some more detail on those, and then I'll give you a call.
Awesome.
Okay.
Keep up the good work. Susan has a question about multifamily. We can talk about that real quick. And then Richard Brown. Richard, do you have details on your Tennessee park? I know you're listening. All right, well, maybe Richard will come back around. We'll there we go. Susan, are you there?
Indeed, I am, Shane. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't have a specific question per se. I guess what I wanted to just, what I'm listening in for is to add to my learning curve. I'm on the left side of the bell curve right now when it comes to transitioning from single family homes to multifamily homes. And so when I was listening to Julie's presentation about the quadplex, I was like, oh, this is interesting. So, and I know you're potentially also looking to partner on her whole package, if you will. I'm not there yet. But
but we can get you there.
Good. So I guess really, maybe if I could just pick your brain for a second, if you could kind of just tell me like a little bit about the multifamily that you and Cindy actually participate in, what you're looking for. So if I see something, I could bring it to your table. And I guess the second piece would be, any words of wisdom for an individual like myself.
I guess maybe in some general terms, there's some pros and cons with multifamily properties. Okay.
Okay.
Some of the pros, some of the benefits are all your units are in one location, right? So management gets to be easier if you're talking 20, 30, 40 doors versus 20 or 30, 40 single family homes that could be all over a city or a state or several states, right? So trying to manage all that, it's sometimes easier in one location. And then you have some of the common structures, right? If you have one 30-unit building, you might have one big roof for everything, other than 30 individual roofs to speak of. The downside to that is also that sometimes when those things do need to be repaired, you have one gigantic bill to pay to get that done. So your budgeting and planning for those bigger ticket items is kind of important. And then, your exit strategies kind of are diminished a little bit when you talk about multifamily. So single family homes, I really love because there's so many different things you can do with them, right? And we talk about wholesaling them out, renting them out, retailing them out. Then you get the short-term rentals, the mid-term rentals, long-term rentals, all these different options, pad splits. And, when you start looking at some of the multifamilies, you kind of get limited sometimes on some of your options there. So there are some fun things we still see being done. We've had people on saying, hey, they're doing short-term rentals in multifamily units, right?
Yeah.
So the multifamily apartment building may not just be for long-term tenants. You can always pick and choose a few of those if the property itself is in the right location, right? So there are some fun things you can do in there as well. But, your strategies do tend to be a little more narrow.
Gotcha.
Financing can be a little trickier sometimes when you talk about commercial properties, right? We're out of the residential realm and now into the commercial property. When you're looking for a loan, different hurdles to overcome. But on the flip side, on the creative side, when you get into commercial properties, things like loan assumptions, seller finance, subject to, these are very common and talked about as part of selling strategies for multifamily. So there's pros and cons. It all depends on how it fits into what you're looking for. I always like multifamily because it's in one location, right? It's easier to get to a certain size to have a management in place for that asset versus, like I said, if you have 30 single family homes spread over even like someplace like Dallas, right? They're all at least in one city. That might be an hour drive between one house to another versus them all on the same location. So management tends to be a little easier and more cost effective per unit.
Without question.
If you get to the right point where you have someone on site that manages the whole thing, better yet. So there's pros and cons. It's all about what you want.
Yeah, I have yet
to get into it versus single family homes, but surely wouldn't talk you out of it either. So
yeah, I mean, I've had experience on the single family side, and I've kind of dipped my toe in the lake, well, various lakes, like long-term rentals. fix and flip and some wholesale deals. So not a lot of each, but just enough to kind of give me a taste and to sort of just help me determine that, I'm going to pick a lane and stick with it. And so I think for me, sort of honing in my education on the multifamily is where I want to focus, at this time. But to your point, if there is a single family opportunity, that just falls in my lap, I'm not going to say no to that.
Right. So, what are you doing currently for leads? Are you looking only at single families and every once in a while a multifamily pops up?
Well, I'm so new that I guess I don't really have an answer to that. I literally came back from Orlando yesterday. It was a 3-day seminar with Rod Cleef out of Sarasota, Florida. And so I have not done anything it's so funny though. It's like, when you buy a new car, it's like all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. It's like,
Yes.
I just came back from Orlando. I just met a bunch of great people with, the multifamily experience. And today there's like 2 Zoom calls kind of sought me out and they were all about multifamily. I did not seek them out. So it's interesting. So I'm really drinking from the fire hose at this time.
Sometimes life speaks to you that way. So
It's absolutely true. So yes, so I have no hands out for any kind of leads at this moment. I have nothing going on other than just people I'm speaking to.
So Susan, what market are you looking in?
Well, that was, also again, part of so at the beginning of the learning curve that I haven't really assessed a particular marketplace. I reside in Hillsborough County here in Florida. And honestly, there's so much going on here in Hillsborough County, right, Tampa and surrounding area. You don't really have to go far to find opportunities.
No, then we got plenty of opportunities in Florida. So
without question. So I think, for me, I will start in my backyard. And I just need to kind of narrow it down specifically.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just keep looking, and if you have questions, let us know.
Yeah, no, good to know that you have got that experience. I wasn't sure because I've been listening into some of the previous Zooms and they seem to be more single family focused, if you will. So no, I'm very grateful. I really appreciate that.
And there's just a lot more opportunity in that single family market world. But you look at commercial real estate, and it's a slightly different animal, but we're in it as well, right? So we have a mobile home park. We're looking at a couple different RV parks.
Okay.
We haven't really talked about it, but Chris and Jesse and Cindy and I are been negotiating with a very large multifamily.
Mm-hmm.
Something in the $20 million range.
Nice.
There's just a lot of negotiation and a lot of due diligence when entering into a property that size. So if you get into a very, very large multifamily, let's talk, because there's definitely people here that have done it and can help you through it.
All right, that's wonderful. Many thanks indeed. Yeah, I mean, this warrior group that under, the Rod Cleef umbrella, there's just all sorts of crazy deals available to take a look at and to assess. So yeah, happy to share what, bring to the
Rod
table.
Cleef, that's all multifamily?
He is, yep. Yeah. It's like Lifetime Cash Flow Academy, and it's multifamily. He's it's KHLEIF. He's the real deal. He's a good teacher.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, and there's some that Chris and Jesse know very well, and in all sorts of different markets. So let us know if that's what you're into. We can send some leads your way as well.
Beautiful. I would love that.
Thanks, Susan.
All right. Many thanks, Shane. Appreciate the time for everybody.
Yep, you're welcome. Richard says he's back. So parent teacher conference, does that mean it was short? Does that mean it was the kid was a superstar, or is he just in so much trouble they said don't even bother?
It was short.
How you doing, Richard? No, where did I leave you?
It was real short.
Well, school must have just started for you. Oh, there's Beulah.
Well, it's for my daughter. We went and her teacher. They didn't have class today, so they made this parent teacher conference day.
Aha.
So one that I have is a mobile home park in Goodlettsville. It's 15 land lease mobile homes on 2 parcels. 11.9 acres, all occupied. 7,335 monthly revenue. City water and septic. 11 units are on a month-to-month. 4 on annual. All units have separate water meters. Tenants pay all utilities, including septic maintenance. 4 septic totals, 1 septic per 4 units. Recently replaced the plumbing to lots 11 through 14 and the septics for lots 1 through 8.
All right.
And also, I have pictures, but I don't know if I'll be able to share it because I'm on my cell phone.
Yeah, it looks like you're on your cell phone in your car still. All right. You kind of ran through those numbers real fast, but let's go take a quick dive. What was the asking price?
790K.
And I counted 15 units, 11 monthlies for.
Yes, 11 units are month to month, 4 on annual.
And that's that was total 15.
Yes.
Okay. And are they all the same rent? Did he give you an idea of what the monthly rental is?
I don't have the rental amount. I just have the revenue, which is 7,335. Let's see if I can get that real quick.
$490.
Sending out a text.
Yeah, so 7,355 monthly is $490 and change per unit.
Okay.
All right. Did you give an understanding of the bedroom count on these? And these are all mobiles, right?
Yes, all mobiles, correct.
So these are probably all 2-bedroom? Or don't know?
Let's see. Hold on.
Don't know the area, but it seems like awfully reasonable and low.
It's like 20 to 25 minutes from Nashville.
All right. And then do you have expenses?
I don't have an expenses sheet. I looked on the files. I don't see any of that. He kind of gave me a short summary over it.
All right. So it sounds like tenants are paying all their own utilities. So let's look at something in the neighborhood of 30%. You have just over 88,000 in income. So maybe the NOI somewhere close to 60,000, 61,000.
Okay.
If we looked at a 8% cap rate, 770,000 is my quick napkin valuation of this thing. And you're saying the purchase price is 790. You're in the right ballpark. Doesn't seem unreasonable. As he talked about, any seller financing available on this, or is it just strictly a cash deal?
He currently just talked about cash. I messaged him about seller finance. He hadn't responded to me on that. I guess he has to get with his wife. Because I know it's him and his wife, and you don't make a decision without your wife.
Yep. So we can go traditional financing on a small mobile home park like this, but there's a lot of hurdles to go through. And because of its size, and you're probably going to be looking at something like 65% loan to value. So you're gonna have to figure out how to come up with the other 35%. If that's something that you have, you need to raise, bring on a partner. And we can run the numbers based on that. But talking with a broker not too long ago about a small mobile home that had to be a cash purchase, that's kind of what we were looking at. Once we get into the larger parks, we can get higher ratios, but being this small, unless you go to the local bank and there's some local people that might go a little higher, but we can dig into that little more, Richard.
Okay.
All in all, it doesn't look like a bad deal. So keep getting some numbers. Let's see if there's some seller financing available. If he's willing to carry a 30% note or more, maybe we might have an easy deal.
Okay. Cool. I will get all that information. Like I said, he kind of just threw it at me, and I hadn't had a chance to sit down and message him back as far as getting rent rolled and things of that sort. But I'll try to get that from him today. And I also had a land deal. It's in Nashville as well.
Vacant
The seller
land?
bought it. Yes. Well, it has a burnt home on it, so it needs to be torn down.
Yeah.
And I did a cash option of $70K, and I was like, well, is the owner open to payments? And she's like, possibly. He's like, but he would take probably $10K more than what he paid for it if we're gonna do payments, and they need to know the terms. And that's one thing I couldn't really figure out. Because the homes in that area would probably go for about $450. I did 20% of that. And so that's where I got the 70. So I was like, okay, at 150, probably could give them, now would you do 0 to 10% of the ARV build or of the price paid for the lot?
We'd have to look at the area, but a lot of the lenders have kind of backed off on loaning for new construction unless you're an experienced builder, right? Unless you've done at least 3 in the last 3 years. So what we've been seeing on the lending side is you have to come up with the money for the lot, and then they'll do like 90% of the construction costs. And of course, that's held out in payments, right? So again, looking at that market, we can figure out, what kind of house to build. But financing on the construction side isn't impossible to do. It's that purchase of the land.
Okay, because it's currently a 3-2, 1725 square feet home that's on it. And Tennessee is pretty quick as far, especially Davidson County, to get with zoning, and they can let you know what could be built. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be some type of 2-story or that you can build on that lot.
All right. Yeah, and especially if I had a single family home on there before, we're just replacing what was there, right?
Right.
Yep. I'm sure they'd be happy to get the tax roll back in action. I am not the land guy. Let me reach out to Chris and Jesse and see if they have a contact. But we can still help you out with that. Let's see what we can do.
Okay. Like I said, I have a lot of builders here, so even if I can throw it to one of them, I was just trying to see what terms would look like on that.
Yeah.
That way I could be able to just take it on the contract and throw it to them. And they say, hey, yeah, we'll take it and build a home while we're paying on it.
What I'd like to do, Richard, is I'm just going to reach out to you after this and I get some more details, and I'll run some numbers and see what comes back for financing and terms. And then next Monday, we can report back to the group and say, hey, here's what we got for sure. And let everybody kind of know what to look for the Tennessee market for vacant land. They're going to look.
All right.
Sound good?
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right.
I thought I saw a hand up. Who had a hand up?
I'm back.
Hi. Is that Randy?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, in the car, I had the video and muted. So I'm new to the group. So, I don't know exactly what like the terms and standards are for the group. So I'm just going to kind of go through a couple of things I'd like some, feedback on. I have a joint venture contract on a commercial property piece of land. And it is it's an old homestead that has an old house and a couple of barn type sheds on it that would need to be tore down. The city of Fairview has rezoned it since then. And in fact, on 3 sides now, there is going to be a $3 billion development that goes around it. And that is supposed to break ground by the end of the year. It is a phenomenal little piece of property. It's 1.5 acres. The struggle that I'm having is my reach.
Oh, I think we lost you, Randy. Just as we're about to get the details.
Yeah. Go figure. Oh,
No, I think she lost her. Hopefully she's okay.
yeah. Maybe she just hit a dead zone.
Welcome back, Cindy.
Yeah, sorry, my W-2 called. But I made it quick. What else does anyone have while we wait for Randy to come back? Anything? Did Beulah get a chance to speak?
Oh no, there's Beulah. I saw her name and I did not hear from her. Let's see.
I'm here.
Okay, Beulah, can you tell us
Yes.
about your deal that we that how you found it, what you did, so we can and how this has come to where it is today.
So I had this texting campaign that I sent out maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and this guy texted me back, and he's like, I said, do you want to, when you want to schedule a time to talk? He's like, now. So I said, okay. So I called him, I chatted with him, and he, it's a house in a single family home in Columbus, but he has over improved the house based on what I understood. And I just knew that a cash offer would not be something that would help him, because he was hoping to basically get, the MLS value on the house. Of course, I haven't put eyes on the property, so I'm just going based off of pictures. He has improved some things, and so I knew a sub-2 kind of a strategy would be the best for him and give him the most money in his pocket. But I had no idea of how to actually structure the deal, how to even talk to the seller. So then I reached out to Cindy, and I think I was on another Zoom call like this maybe 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Then Shane and Jesse and Chris and Cindy all jumped in. I sent them a text, and we tried to set up Zoom calls maybe 3 times with the seller, and he was like a slippery fish. Honestly, he told me later on that he thought he was not interested, but he thought I was persistent. But fortunately, it all worked together. He agreed to a phone call over a Zoom, so I said, fine, let's just do that. And we chatted with him on Saturday. Jesse, Chris, and Shane were on the call, and it was very helpful. The seller is very grateful, and I think we're on track to do something with helping him get some kind of a sub-2 kind of a resolution with his property. And I'm grateful to you guys.
And Beulah, I just have to say, great job with the follow through, because he had heard from and was quite annoyed by the hundreds of phone calls that he was receiving from other investors. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
And so he just was kind of, but he also was very well spirited, because I think he at first thought we were kind of in the same field, and it was just kind of going to throw him a low cash offer like everybody else has.
Right.
And we kind of started the whole story off, just the whole conversation off with wanting to hear the story, and why he spent not just probably a little more money renovating the house than he should have, but he also poured his heart and soul into it, right? He did the renovation himself.
He did, yes.
Did all the extra fixes that you could do to a house, because he wasn't planning on selling it. He was planning on staying there. So he's done a great job. He's got a lot of love in the home, so he didn't want to just give it away.
Right.
but due to some other circumstances, he does have to move. He wants to move. I should say he doesn't have to. He wants to move. And this is where having somebody on your team who's very, very smooth and good at bringing the story out and telling stories. Jesse is phenomenal for doing that. So you ever had a chance to train, if anybody ever wants to do that, join Jesse's Facebook group, the House of Cards. Listen to him, a couple of his shows. He's very, very good. But he just kind of walked through some different scenarios with the seller and said, okay, what would work? You know, where do we need to be? And here's what we do, right? He was just kind of straight up and just said, here's what we could do, and here's what we can't do. Right? We just can't go out and buy your house cash for your full asking price. It doesn't make sense for us because we are investors and we need to make a profit as well. And we understand that, you know, a lowball cash offer doesn't work for you. So what would work, you know, and we just kind of talked about the different scenarios, and we kind of we haven't agreed to anything yet, but we have some potential terms and maybe another deal in the works with him. This might be somebody who actually goes ahead and buys either some land from us because he wants to go RVing and travel a little bit, or we've kind of offered him a job.
Yes.
You know what would be cool, Shane?
On a couple different sites. So you never know quite where a story is going to go. And when you're talking to somebody on the phone, if you don't go in with any preconceived notions, right? You just want to hear the story. Everybody has a different story and a different motivation for selling. I always say start with that and listen to what the motivation is. If you can find that, that's so much more important than, well, tell me about the renovation and what year is the house built and how many bedrooms and how many square feet. And all that is secondary to the conversation. So great job, great job with that, with that follow through.
Thank you. And thank you for your help, all of you. I really appreciate it.
And Jesse just put a note in the side comments here. If you didn't see it, he wants to go through and analyze that phone conversation, and he'll give you all the details.
Great.
It was just one of those things that, you know, we were quite deep into that conversation, and I think either Jesse or Chris text me and go, "You're recording this, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
But thankfully,
I have the whole thing.
Yeah, Chris recorded it.
Yes, Chris got it. I got 130 minutes.
We should go over that call next Monday. It really was a great call, but it just goes to we've touched on this a little bit before. You know, one of the big things we want to bring you guys in here for is to show you how to start building and developing and just focusing on one thing, one skill. If that's something you're not already, I know a lot of mistakes that a lot of people make when they get started in real estate, or even if they're not starting, just wanting to scale and gain momentum. They have their hands in a lot of different pots. And the biggest and fastest way to do anything is to focus on one thing and build that skill. Because what happens is your income is a direct reflection on the caliber of value that you bring to the marketplace. And so for me, that's one of the things that I focus on for 3.5 years straight. I have done nothing else. I haven't focused on anything else other than learning how to effectively communicate and negotiate with sellers. And I've just read so many books, and I've taken just a lot of action on the information and stuff in there. I've been very intentional with, practicing the things that I'm learning about. And in 20 minutes, and we'll have to go over that conversation. It was cool. I think that conversation was about 20 minutes, give or take, maybe 25 minutes, somewhere in there. But in a 20-minute span, like Shane was saying, this guy was wanting to come up to Alaska and go golfing with me. He was wanting to work for me. He asked if he could have a job. There was something else that he did. There was 4 things. I don't remember what the third one was. Man, I don't remember what it was. But he wanted to work. He wanted to come work for us. He wanted to come golfing. He wanted to sell us his house sub 2, which was super dope.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of just a neat way to showcase how if you're focused on one thing, and you just by knowing how to effectively walk a seller from A to Z and planting that seed and building rapport and building credibility and doing all the right things. Well, one skill, I mean, in a 20-minute phone call, here you are buying somebody's house, leveraging his credit, leveraging his debt, all that fun stuff. So yeah, maybe that'd be kind of cool to go over next week. Just analyze the call and we kind of go like step by step and pause it and talk about it and all that kind of stuff. If you guys would get value from that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That was just
I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
great phone call.
Yep. Yep. All right. Does anyone have anything else? Any other hands? Oh, Randy, are you back? There you are.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad you didn't hurt yourself.
So I apologize to everyone. I want to start making these Monday meetings, but at minimum, every other Monday, I have to pick up my kid from this AP tutoring. So on those days, I'll have to be in the car. So I'm trying to make this work. So anyway, about the land, it's a commercial property that the city has really done a lot of work to build up this area. It's zoned commercial planned development district, and it's going to be at least the initial area that's around the 1.5 acres that I have under contract is a $3 billion project that is going to be multi-purpose, office space, retail, multifamily, etc. It's just a great location. However, with that said, my reach is not large enough being new at this. And I really think that's where the gap is happening, because we have it priced below market, kind of at what we consider like a wholesale pricing. The market is at $18 to $25 a foot, and we're currently priced at 11. Now, I did have one commercial realtor tell me that it was because I was priced below market, so people wanted to know what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not getting the hits and the leads that I thought we would get on this property for the type of opportunity that it is. And with Fairview being, an area in the Metroplex that's known to be very, lucrative, prosperous, et cetera, and growing. So if anybody has advice, ideas,
So on this property that you currently have, are you the real estate agent?
No. We found it through a listing, through just a wholesale list, sorry. And
Right.
called and met the sellers, and yeah, so we have it under contract.
So you have it under contract, yeah.
This is,
Yes.
I remember, Randy, you talked to me about this. Shane, I know we've talked about so many properties, but we did talk about this one briefly, Shane. Last week sometime.
Randy, you're not part of the sub 2 community, are you?
I'm not.
Okay. What I can do is I can get the details from you and I can run it. And I'm not a land guy. It's something that interests me, but it's too many things. As Jesse had said, sometimes you got to stick to your lane a little bit. It's one of those sparkly things that always caught my attention, but I never got to it. But I know quite a few people that is their whole entire business. So let me get the details. I'll run it by them and see if they have a buyer or they are buyers for that area. How's that sound?
That would be
Open
great.
up our buyer list to you.
Yeah,
I
that
ask-
would be great.
Sorry. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I caught a little bit of what you said. Is this piece, it sounds to me like you're saying it's in the middle of all this other $3 billion development that's going on around it. Is that right?
That is correct. So what happened was back in 2017, 2018, this big developer company, they're Billingsley, they build all over Texas. They started purchasing that area as projected Fairview's growth. And it is right off of Interstate 75, right where Interstate 75 meets 121, known as the Ray.
Oh, we're gonna lose you again.
Oh, I hope not.
Is what they're saying. But what happened back in 2017, 2018, when the company was buying it up, they made the family angry. This was the property that they grew up on, and mom had passed, and they've all since, you know, they're older, moved away, etc. And so because of the level of arrogance and the attitude that was taken with them, they decided that they would never sell to Billingsley.
Right. Okay. So it's considered a nuisance piece, right? Like eventually someone has to buy it commercially. Because it sits in the middle of all the other development, right?
Well, it's surrounded on three sides. The front side of it has Highway 5 access, which is, you know, I would say like a main corridor that runs between McKinney to Fairview and that whole area. And the good thing about it being having Highway 5 frontage is that the city nor the state have any plans to expand Highway 5 with this big development. They are bringing, it's called Country Club Drive. It's a drive that is about maybe a half mile north of this property. They are expanding, widening, and carrying that all the way to Interstate 75. And then about a half mile south of this property, same thing. They're taking Fairview Parkway, widening and taking it all the way to 75 Service Road. Plus, they're putting in new exit on and off ramps. They've put in a brand new sewer substation, etc. So I don't really see it as a nuisance property. There was a couple of other holdouts that is about a lot or a parcel or two from us that is also a holdout that would not deal with Billingsley because of the attitude. So it's surrounded on three sides, but the fact that it still has Highway 5 frontage is what we loved about it. Because somebody could go in there and put townhomes, or they could do a retail center, or they could do a retail with townhomes, or, you know, whatever on the top.
Right.
So there's
don't get me wrong, Randy, a nuisance piece is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Can't be.
because eventually they're going to want it so bad that they're going to buy it at your price. And we ran into that in Arkansas, in almost an identical situation. And we ended up selling it for almost 3 times the value of what we purchased it for. So, and that was over many years. It took many years, but we held out, and that's what happened. So I wasn't saying nuisance piece as it was a bad thing. I was saying it as it's a good thing for you, I think. And I would maybe contact other landowners in that area that might understand the value and maybe partner with them to get as much out of it as you want to.
So when you say partner with other landowners, so directly across Highway 5 is another piece of land that used to be an old tree nursery. And they've since abandoned and left that area with the growth and stuff because they didn't meet, I guess, the new, you know, zoning or whatever. They're selling that land. It's almost 4.5 acres, and they're selling it for over $5 million. What do you mean as partnering with them? Because they're trying to sell too. I mean, what?
Well, people are obviously will buy in that area. I'm more experienced, like Shane's telling you. He'll probably bring you a great partner. But it's someone who you sound a little green and don't know what to sell it for. And I don't want to see somebody take advantage of that. So if you partner with
Well,
someone who knows
we-
about land,
we listed it or we've priced it at that because neither at some point we're going to be forced to close on it. Okay. And by the seller, right?
gotcha,
And
because you're under
we're
contract.
we're gonna lose the contract. Yet we neither one of us are in a position to hold the land, you know, and a loan over an extended time. So that's
So
why
in
we
the-
were trying to hurry it. Now I have talked to a commercial realtor that's very big in that area, and he keeps advising me to just find a way to buy it and hold
Right.
it.
Find a
and
partner.
I will get right, and then I'll get 2 to 3 times out of that. Yes, I would love that. At the same time, I need cash now.
Yeah.
I need
Gotcha.
money now so I can move to the next deal, and the next deal, and the next deal. And so I'm okay with it being a win-win. Now, you know, could I raise the price some? Sure. We did that just so that we could get a quick, you know, buyer, which has not happened.
Lost her again.
It's kind of weird. I would love to hold it. Not really to do that.
In commercial property,
I
again,
can see you guys.
in that commercial property world, which we were talking about earlier, again, what's one of the disadvantages of being in commercial properties is when you want to sell it and you want to sell it quickly, your market is much smaller than a single family home market, right? So then again, this is what you're kind of running into. There is the right buyer out there for that property. There just isn't tens of thousands of them looking. You got to go out and find them, right? You got to go out and know that right area.
Right.
Let me get some more details from you, and I'll run it through the buyers list and see what we can come up with. What kind of time frame are you running up against? Do we have 30 days to do this deal, or do we have a week? What do we?
I mean, I think we're probably somewhere between 30 and 60 days. I think by
Okay,
the
good.
time the holidays come and Billingsley breaks ground, then the family is going to be like, well, forget it. We're just going to go with a realtor.
Yeah, got it. So we have some time. That's good. Because these things do
Okay.
take a little
So
time.
I have another, right.
Please go
So I
ahead.
have another a quick question that's on residential. So there is I'm in McKinney, Texas. We are the #1 housing market in America now, according
Yep.
to, I don't know, somebody published it. Now it's all over McKinney. So there's a property that has been listed over a year, not too far from me. I know the neighborhood, I know the schools, I know, you know, tons of the neighbors, etc. Open Door bought it. They have had it listed for, you know, forever. And I've been trying to buy this property from them. They're being difficult, will barely budge. I'm in the mentorship, the REIN mentorship, and they're pretty strict as far as, you know, it being the 70-cent deal, as far as it being a 1% rule, all of that. I have heartburn over this property because it doesn't meet the 70-cent deal. It's about an 80. It doesn't meet a 1%. But yet the span is such that I know if I could get the funding for it and do a light flip on it, I think that it would make money. It's been sitting because Open Door has done nothing with it. And it's an older style, kind of has an older look, but the bones are great. The neighborhood is great. They've just let it sit.
Open market is
So-
notorious for not negotiating, and they will sit on a property and lose money on it over, you know, month after month after month for a year, and never budge on the price. I don't know if that's gotten any better, but I just stopped dealing with them for that reason. But if you think that at that price point, there's still a potential deal there, just make sure that you know your numbers, because you already know you're at the edge of that 70% rule. You know, my take on that 70% rule is really know your ARVs and be really diligent on managing your light rehab. Don't go in anything major because you'll be underwater in a hurry. But if it's a quick, it is a great market. It's still a hot market. So not knowing more about the property, then just make sure you go in with your eyes wide open.
And
So
I'm
do you
assuming you're gonna need PML too, right?
Correct. And that was my other thing. So then if I don't meet the rule, then I don't get PML. Correct. So yet the spread is there to where you could still make money. And I think if somebody went in and did a little bit of work to the property, it would sell definitely by the spring, in the spring peak season.
Yeah. Well, you gotta factor in your holding costs and, I mean, yeah, I would, what I would do, Randy, is underwrite it and then share your numbers with us and let us take a look at it, you know? That's it's a gamble.
Cindy has her
So,
fingers on the pulse of private money lenders at the moment, so she can tell you if it's something
yeah,
that
I
we can get
mean,
funded or not.
yeah,
Okay.
so,
Randy, do you have Cindy's phone number?
yeah, she has it. We've
All right.
talked.
Yeah,
We
okay.
talked last
Perfect.
week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
Thank you.
let's talk about this commercial property, and then let's talk about the single family home too. And then hopefully we'll have some answers for next
Perfect.
week. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. I know we're a little past the hour here. I don't want to leave anyone hanging either. Does anyone have any other questions, properties, anything? Nothing? All right. Well, we appreciate you all coming in. If you all can bring in some more deals next Monday, that we can all talk about and
I promise to have
try to
my
get you
camera
guys to the
replaced by then.
I think you have to uninstall your computer or uninstall your camera, Shane, because that happens to me all the time. Uninstall it and reinstall it. The drivers.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do, the drivers. I know we have, like I said, Beulah, we have.
Well, I think we lost Cindy now too. Well, I just want to say thank you, everyone, and I greatly appreciate you. And we'll see you next Monday. Keep investing,
Thank
keep
you.
working the markets.
Thanks, Shane. Thanks,
Thank
Cindy.
you.
Thanks, Phil.